Hey there, boys and girls, and welcome back to another exciting adventure in Final Fantasy VIII. I'm your host and guide, Chris Thirtyne, and let's get this show on the road. Right now, we're currently outside Galbadia Garden, where we ended our episode last time, and there are some new enemies we can fight in this area. So, let's make sure our junction is not stopping us from getting into fights. And let's see exactly what these enemies are. So, for our first enemy battle here, we've got the Geezer. You know him, beat him up, get some screws. You use them for junctioning, and you generally have so many of them, you can just sell them off. Good way to get some money. But beside him, we got the Bell Hellmel. What a name. What a name. This guy's got two forms. He's either laughing and happy, or he's angry, which he just became right now. When he's furious, he will counter all physical attacks with a physical attack of his own. When he's laughing, he will attack with magic, mostly lightning, and counter any magic attacks with Laser Eye. At high levels, so above level 30, he will drop the Laser Eye, or sorry, not the Laser Eye, he will drop the Laser Cannon, which allows Quizzes to learn Laser Eye. So if you didn't get that earlier, you can get that from him now, but it has to be at high levels. Otherwise, not too difficult of an enemy. If you want to stop him from being able to attack altogether, when he's in his laughing form, you can silence him or cast Berserk on him. Because if he's berserked and he has no physical attacks, well, he'll be unable to attack. And because he's berserked, he will also become unable to switch his mode to angry. So let's just heal up here, finish off this Geezer, and we'll move on. The next enemy around here is the Thrust Davis. Now, we fought this guy before, but I figured I'd throw him in here because the first time you fight him with Irvin in your group, well, he mentions how to use his Limit Break, which we'll get into at a later point. However, because he's flying, Quake will always miss, and when he's almost dead, the Thrust Davis will actually start attacking with a strong Wind Elemental attack that hits all party members called Wind Blast. Not a bad enemy. You can draw Arrow from him, and at higher levels, you can draw Tornado as well. But if you want Tornado and you're not at the higher levels, you can even beat them up, and occasionally they will drop a Windmill. This Windmill can be refined into Tornado magics, so you can get them that way too. It's good to know that, there's always ways around that allow you to get what you need, even if you're not high enough levels, so we're not completely losing out on all the good magics just because we're not grinding up. The last enemy around here we're going to be fighting is the Blood Soul. Yes, an undead enemy, which means he's weak to both Holy and Fire. Not too difficult at lower levels, though you do have to be careful because he does have a fairly high vitality stat, which means he's not going to be taking much damage from physical attacks. But at higher levels is where he really starts to shine. And by that I mean, well, kick your ass. Because he will cast Zombie on a party member, which makes them undead, and then he will begin to attack them with restorative magic, which will pump out the damage. Yes, he is a smart little fucker. However, you can also draw Zombie from him, and he drops Zombie Powders, which can refine into the Zombie magic. Which, initially I said wasn't that great of a spell, but isn't actually that bad for junctioning. So if you got the time and the patience, I suggest you pick a few of them up, because, well, it's not gonna hurt. Unless you're a zombie. Okay, so to tell you the truth, I'm actually doing this episode a second time because the first time it didn't work out. So there might be a few irregularities in the spells I have and stuff like that, because I'm not going to hunt down all the enemies again to get them to appear, because I've already done that, so all the drawing I've done from them I no longer have. But with that said, let's get on our way. We were sent off on a mission to head to the Galbadian capital to meet up with General Caraway so we can attack the witch who's controlling everything. And truth is, that city is just over there, over the ridge. But you notice there's a truck in the way. So if we go ahead and do this, we can actually see that we can't just walk on through, which is one of those ridiculous things that, you know, always likes to happen. Yeah, it's your duty to block the train tracks? Okay, yeah, thanks. And as I said before, this is kind of ridiculous because it forces you to take the train, and if I had just spent all my money, then I'd be just running around in circles until I got more. So, really bad design there. Seriously. Once I had the mission to move forward, yes, I'd miss the scenes in the train, but is this really that important that I couldn't just walk to the next town? I don't get in any fights. Like, none. Because no fight junction ability, but durr.
Hey, you caught on.
This train, bound for Delling City, will be departing shortly.
This is the only train bound for Delling City anyway.
Perhaps it is fate. So, what do we do about him?
Irvin just kind of went off. Shouldn't you check?
Sophie, we're destined to be together.
Yeah, right.
A sigh of love?
No.
Pardon me.
My heart's pounding. What is this I'm feeling?
It's an important mission. Get used to handling pressure while you still can. Squall. Way to go. I think whoosh right over your head as to what's going on there. Right over your head.
Renoa.
Irvin Kinneas, you're playing a major role in this mission. Now behave yourself.
No one understands me. Sharpshooters are loners by nature. We hone our instincts, pour our whole being into a single bullet. Suppressor of the moment, an instant of tension. That's what I have to face alone. It's not easy. So, just do me a favor and let me be. You get my drift?
There was no damage to the train from that minor vibration. I repeat, there was no damage to that train from that minor vibration. And as I said, the city we're going to, just around the corner, literally, just around the frickin' corner. So, honestly, no reason why we had to take the train. Oh, wait, I guess we don't want to go down the up escalator. That would be bad. Funny how it actually doesn't let you go, you know, up the down escalator and vice versa. You have to take the correct one, or it won't let you move. Not even slowly. And look at these great PS1 graphics. And another one of those weird times where cutscene merges with in-game graphics and then turns back. Funny enough, I know it's just like an image when it changes, but as far as I'm concerned, this, like, as a background looks better than it kind of did with the actual, like, moving graphics when it was, like, cutscene formula, because there was just way too much noise on it for me.
What's the matter, Squall?
We're heading for Caraway's mansion. It's in the government district. We're here as a backup from Galbadia Garden. Don't blow our cover. I wonder if Laguna's here now. And yes, you actually do have to talk to one of your two characters to proceed. Now, to get to the mansion quickly, which is what we want to do, you can actually skip a screen if you just hop on the bus here. Which you have to time it so it's actually stopped when you talk to the guy. If you talk to him too early, he says wait, which the bus was right there. And then just hit triangle to get off on the next screen. Like I said, no real reason to do that, but it does skip a screen on the way here. General Caraway's mansion is right through this gate, but I just can't let you walk in. I believe he's been informed of our arrival. Yes, indeed, but I was ordered not to let you through until your skills have been tested.
What the hell's he talking about?
Test our skills? What does he want us to do?
The Tomb of the Unknown King to the northeast. All you have to do is go there. It's real simple, but you have to bring back proof that you were there. A code number.
Code number?
We came all the way here for some test of courage? Who does he think we are?
There are many students like yourself who wish to call on General Caraway. There was a student from Galbadia yesterday who is yet to return from the test at the Tomb of the Unknown King. The Tomb of the Unknown King is located northeast of the city. Your objective is to go to the Tomb of the Unknown King, look for traces of this lost student, and return with his ID number. You should be able to find what you're looking for shortly after you go in. The ID number should be written on it. I don't recommend going any further than you have to. You may never make it back alive. Anyway, here's a map for you. You can press a button while inside the Tomb of the Unknown King to bring it up. Press a button again while the map is displayed to escape from the dungeon. But just remember, your seed rank will go down.
So anyways, you can buy a hint, which is completely useless about the number. You can buy the location displayer, which also kind of useless because, well, I can tell you how exactly to move around in the
Tomb of the Unknown King.
Because if you actually look at the layout, it's pretty easy. But to leave conversation without actually, you know, leaving the city... Ah, crap, I didn't want to talk to him again. Okay, whatever. Have him escort us out of town. Not what I wanted to do, but we'll do it anyways, because, like I said, I was just a screen away from where I wanted to be, but now we'll just have to hop on the bus and go a few more screens than initially intended. Whatever. Oh, yeah. Wait until the bus arrives. And the bus with the horrible hydraulics that needs new shocks comes to a stop so we can get on. Like, seriously, watch it when it comes to a halt. Like, look. Could you imagine trying to stand on that bus when it came to a stop like that? That thing's gonna throw you right out the front windshield. For serious. Come on, guys. What bus would ever actually stop like that? Now, for those of you who recognize this place from when we were here earlier with Laguna, you'll remember we went down into some tunnels where we fought some enemies and were able to get some life spells. So you might think to yourself, hey, that's great, maybe I can get some more of those, because, you know, why not? I got more party members and life always good, right? Wrong. You see, the thing is, you can't actually access that area right now. Won't let you go down the ladder. As in, I tried and I couldn't get it to work, so instead we're just stopping by the hotel for, yeah, you guessed it, another issue of Timber Maniacs. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, Chris, why are you showing me these things? They don't do anything, they don't appear in your inventory, and they don't have any use that I can see. And well, they actually do become apparent later on in the game as to why you want to collect them. However, you are correct, they don't really have any use. I'm just bringing them up because, well, hey, they're there, and I'm showing you how to get to them. And I'm apparently missing my bus stop because I'm distracted. Well then. Well then. Well then. Hell then. Make sure I get up here. Oh, dear God, I don't want to miss another stop. Yeah, you can hit triangle before you even come anywhere close to the stop if you want to get off. That's something you don't have to time properly. Anyways, we'll have this guy escort us out of town so we can leave. And he tells us we should rent a car, but we've got junction ability, no battles, so Anyways, I think we'll actually go attack the Tomb of the Unknown King in the next episode. So until then, there are some new battles you can actually get in around here. And for whatever reason, I'm running on the road even though I don't have to. There is a silo over there. You can't really do anything there yet. Where we want to go, there are some, like, there's some new enemies, I think, in this area. I might be totally wrong. Actually, I think I am totally wrong. You don't fight any new enemies on the land. You do, however, fight some new enemies here in the desert. And there's a special little hidden area. If you go into your menu here, you'll see we're currently in the Lollapalooza Canyon. In this area, you will fight a great enemy that you're gonna want to fight, and you're gonna want to hunt it down. But he's kind of rare, so before we do that, we'll show off the new enemies in the desert to end this episode. So, removing our encounter none. Removing our strength junctions so we don't accidentally kill everything. And any sort of elemental attacks. With that, I shall show you the new enemies around this area. So the first enemy in the desert we're going to be on the lookout for is the Abyss Worm. Yes, this poor little sucker has one major flaw that stops him from being, well, very threatening at all. It's that he's weak to wind, and you draw wind magic from him. Yes, at lower levels you get arrow, at higher levels you can draw tornado from him. So, want to beat him fast if he ever shows up? Just draw and cast. And there you go. There you have it. He'll go down. He has an attack called sand shake that you can actually avoid damage to by casting float on your party. It might seem like, oh, sand's flying through the air, this is going to be kind of wind elemental. No, because it's earth, you actually avoid all damage because you're floating. Makes sense? No, but video game logic, so whatever. If you aren't high enough levels to get Tornado from him, he will also drop the windmill, or for a higher chance, you can actually try mugging them from him. So, time and patience, good early point in the game where you can collect your tornado magic. The other enemy you can fight in the desert is the Fastitocalon. Now you might be sitting here thinking, Chris, no, we fought this guy before, he's just a little fish. Well, the thing is, both the large version and the small version in battle both have the same name. They both just say Fastitocalon. However, it's not until you get the card that the small one says -F for, small fish, I guess. I don't actually know what it means. He will appear alongside the small fish. The only difference between them is that this guy is bigger, he hits harder, and he has more health. You also gotta watch out for this sandstorm attack that can actually deal some pretty hefty damage to your party. But other than that, he's pretty much identical. He goes down the exactly same way. Just beat him up and try and ignore him. Oh, he does actually give you less AP, so don't really go out looking for him. Now the big enemy that you're going to want to look out for in Lollapalooza Canyon, the one I told you to hunt for, yeah, this is him. This is the Visage. Now he has 3 parts to him. He's got his head and his 2 hands. Basically the Visage, the lefty, and the righty. His face, his left hand, and his right hand. Well, he can be pretty tough, especially if you don't come in too prepared, because he's got tons of health and can hit you with some pretty powerful abilities. Basically, he's like a small boss enemy, because you don't fight him too often either. Now, we'll start with the face. The face isn't really that important. He's the one that controls both the hands, so he can get them doing some special attacks if he's still around, but pretty much all he's good for is drawing some hastes. Speed yourself up and stock up on him. He also drops a lightweight, which is a pretty good item, but you get tons of those throughout the course of the game, so it's not really all that great. Now, it's not really something you would think of, but it's actually the hands here that are your main concern. And your big joy. They're the reason you're going to want to fight this guy. We'll start with righty. Now, righty is actually on the left-hand side of the face because, well, that would be where his right hand would be, right? Because you're looking at it from his perspective. Well, righty he's the physical attacker. He's going to hit you with physical attacks, and that's pretty much about all he's going to do. However, you can draw shell and protect from him, which at this point in the game, not really that great, but it does they become a huge boon once you start fighting enemies that can dish out huge amounts of damage. So if you've got the time, stock up now, or find an easier enemy that you can steal them from to stock up on. It's really up to you. He isn't immune to darkness, so you can cast that on righty and pretty much hinder his ability to hurt you. Go for it. Why not? Now, lefty. This is the guy that you want. You're gonna love him. Oh, small detour for a second. I'm about to use Irvin's Limit Break. Now you can see what I'm doing here is you basically select an enemy and you just keep hitting R1. You got a little timer there, and depending on which ammo you picked is the type of damage he's gonna deal. you pick the regular ammo, he just shoots at a normal speed. Shotgun ammo will hit all enemies, but it'll shoot really slow. There's ones that allow you to shoot faster, but at less damage, so on and so forth. But anyways, back to Lefty. Yes, this is the magical half of the hand duo. He's gonna hit you with Bio, Thunder, Drain. He will, at higher levels, draw your magic from you, and then cast it. Yeah. That can hurt. He will also heal any status abnormalities that you put on the other two. So he's kinda rough. However, at level 20 and above, Lefty drops the Regen Ring. Now, you're gonna want these, and you're gonna want lots of them, because it is one of the better and easier ways, assuming you can get them to drop them, because it is one of the better and easier ways to get full life. Yes, for every regen ring that you refine, you get, I think it's 20 full life, so that is a lot. But, like I said, you don't get those at low levels, so you're not really going to be worrying too much about that at this point. There is a way later on in the game that you can control the level of the enemy you're fighting, so even though you're at low levels, you can raise them up to get the better drops. But until then, that's kind of out of our grasp. And this battle's gonna be going on for a long time because I really have no junctions put to my strength, so I can't really take him out very fast. So we're just gonna cut all this out. And with that, this episode shall come to an end. I shall see you guys next time, where we take on
The Tomb of the Unknown King.
Until then, guys, remember, be prepared for
The Tomb of the Unknown King.
because everyone loves
The Tomb of the Unknown King.
because we have to say
The Tomb of the Unknown King as many times as possible to get the point across that we're going to the Tomb of the Unknown King.